Hello, ladies, and welcome back to another episode of Get 'em Girl, a girl's guide to relationships, femininity, dating, polarity, and attraction. Okay, ladies, so today we have a highly requested video. We are talking about how to sound more feminine. So without further ado, I know I've kept you waiting long enough. Let's go ahead and just hop into the tips for sounding more feminine. Number one, we do have to realize in this journey with our voice, in this journey with our femininity, with all of it, ladies, we all have our own unique feminine flair, okay? And with that, that is expressed very differently depending on the kind of woman you are, depending on how you see yourself, depending on how you want to show up in the world. There are feminine women who are very loud and boisterous and bold. There are feminine women who are very soft-spoken, okay? There are different strokes even in femininity. It is not meant for all of us to sound the exact same. You will not sound like me. I will not sound like you, but it's still feminine, right, ladies? So with this journey, with your speech and with the sound of your voice, I need you to really understand that everybody is meant to sound different still, okay? We're not all meant to mimic the same soft-spoken voice, okay, that we think of when we think of femininity, right, ladies? Add your own flair to this thing. It's meant to be added. And that actually takes me into point 2. Ladies, you have to know what your style is. Some women, like I said, are more loud and bold. Some women are more soft-spoken. You need to understand what is true to you. You need to know thyself. I've said this plenty of times before. And you need to know what feels true. When you think of how you want to present in the world, the woman that you're working on becoming, how does she speak? How does she articulate herself? What does her voice sound like to you? Okay, is it full? Okay, or is it softer? Is it softer in tone? Okay, is it kind of wispy? Is it something that's more breathy? You need to decide what fits you. And the only way you can do that is to know yourself. How do you express yourself in other ways? When you think about your clothing, your hairstyles, think about all of these things. What style is it that you exude in all of those other things? Because chances are, if you exude a certain style in those things, it's probably going to translate really, really well when you're talking about your speaking voice. Okay, ladies? So if you're a woman who likes bright colors, okay, and you're very bold with your outfit choices and everything, well, your voice might sound a lot more flamboyant when you think about how your feminine speaking voice should be. Okay, ladies? So you need to actually know yourself. You need to actually understand what feels true to you. If you are trying to practice your voice, okay, and it feels like something that is foreign and you feel like this isn't even something that I feel like I would be sounding, this is not even the way I feel like I should sound, right? Then that's probably not it, okay? So actually decide what that style and tone is, and does it fit the persona that you want to have? Does it fit how you want to show up in the world? Does it fit how you feel when you're talking to people and how you want to rub off on them? Does it fit that, okay? You need to decide what that is for yourself. And then number three to me is a doozy, because I think this is what keeps us from actually committing, okay, to the things that we want to change. Ladies, you have to realize that when you first start to change really anything about yourself, it's going to get uncomfortable, okay? You're going to sometimes feel like there's a part of your mind that's saying, no, this is the way we talk. This old way of doing things is the way we do things. This way that we did things before is the correct way to do it. And that's only because, ladies, our mind is wired to keep us safe. And the only way that it knows how to do that is to keep us the same. Okay, because as long as we're doing the same things over and over, it knows that we're in a good spot. So you're going to have those thoughts of, this isn't really me. This is not my voice. I don't talk like this. I've always talked this old way. And so you have to be prepared to fight the old self. Okay. Even when you are speaking to people that you know, there will be people who will ask you, since when did you start talking like that? Right? You have to be comfortable enough to continue on in your change, even when those things are happening. Okay. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay. And with that, at the end of the day, these are the words that are coming out of your mouth in your tone of voice. You're not using anybody else's voices. This is your voice, right, ladies? So with that, it does not matter if they knew how you spoke before. It does not matter if they're used to a different sound of voice. What you decide to speak like, what you decide for your voice to be is what it is, right? And so it does not matter if they say, when did you start speaking like that, or you don't talk like that. The fact of the matter is, I'm having a conversation with you right now, and this is how my voice sounds. So obviously this is how I speak. Right, ladies? And you have to get that concrete in your change so that you actually follow through with sounding more feminine. Because at first, yes, it will be uncomfortable. At first, you may feel like you're putting on an act. They call it imposter syndrome for a reason. But when you actually commit to the change and you get comfortable being uncomfortable, you will start to assimilate to it. It'll start to feel more normal to you. People will start to recognize that that is your speaking voice now, okay? And you won't have to feel so out of sorts when you are speaking. The fourth thing that you want to do is play around with different modalities with your voice. And what I mean by that is practice slowing down your speech before you even start to try to adjust your voice and all of that. Play with tempo. How quickly do you want to speak? How slowly do you want to speak? Right, ladies? And see what feels comfortable, what feels feminine to you. That's a good place to start when you're thinking about sounding more feminine. Sometimes it's not even that we don't sound feminine, we just talk too fast or too slow, right, ladies? So play with the tempo of your speech first, and then I'll say from there, practice adding warmth to your voice. You want to try to, as much as you can, make your voice feel like a warm hug, okay? And just as everyone is different, everyone's hug is different, everyone's warm hug is different. And so what does it sound like when you add warmth to your voice? Does that make your pitch go up higher? Does that bring fullness to your voice? Maybe you're a person who already has high pitch and it kind of brings a little bit more bass into your voice to where you drop deeper and you have a deeper register now when you're speaking to people, right, ladies? Maybe you have a drag at the end of your words so that when you're speaking, it actually lags a little bit. Maybe that sounds feminine to you. Or if you're a person who likes a breathy voice, and so when you're speaking, it sounds like you're breathing through your words. Okay, ladies, you want to practice different modes of speech so that you can identify which one actually fits you. Try them all, okay? Find some women that you actually love the way they sound and see if those different little things that you like about their voices correlate to you. They actually fit what you actually want to project out, okay? There's women who have a beautiful natural rasp to those voice. I'm here to tell you there is a way to actually do that for your own voice, okay? So play around with different modalities and don't completely, I will say it like this, don't completely go from speaking one way. Say you have a deeper register voice. Don't just go from speaking like in your deep registered voice to a high-pitched voice. Instead, just add little tweaks to what you already do so that it feels more natural, so that it flows a little bit more. This is how you actually tweak to have a more feminine voice, okay? You're not completely changing and running off the charts with how you sound, but what you're doing is you're adding different little attributes that make the voice sound more feminine, right, ladies? And that's how it's going to remain unique to you, and that's how it's going to remain true to you so that you don't feel like you're putting on an act when you speak, okay, ladies? Number 5, practice. When I was kind of working on my speaking voice, I'm going to be honest, I would talk to myself all day long. I'm walking around the house. I'm having full-blown conversations. And I know a lot of us do that. But in the same way that I want to be mindful of how I sound to other people, I was making sure that I was being mindful of how I was saying things to myself. Right, ladies? When I was walking around the house and I was speaking to myself, I still wanted to make sure my voice projected in a way that I would be comfortable with other people hearing. Right? Sometimes we get on the phone with our friends and our cousins and our sister and, all these different people. And it's like we revert back to our old speaking voice because we've gotten so comfortable with just being that way. But if you really, really want to have a more feminine sounding voice that actually sticks, you have to be very mindful of staying in that voice, even when you're talking to family and even when you're having different kinds of conversations that could easily take you back, right? And you do that by practicing. Talk to yourself, make voice memos, ladies. Get in your phone, turn on the voice memo, and just start talking. Okay. And the good thing about that is as you talk, you're practicing, but also listen back to the voice memo. Listen back to the way your voice sounds and get comfortable hearing your voice. Get comfortable hearing what that sounds like. Get comfortable with the warmth in your voice and the way it feels to listen to it. Get comfortable with that so that it does not feel so foreign to you. Okay. But the biggest thing is you want to practice getting your voice out, because the more you practice, the more comfortable you will be speaking to others in any situation in this voice, because you won't be worried about flipping back and forth. Okay. You will get used to speaking in that tone of voice and you won't have to worry so much about, am I going to flip and then end up not even doing this anymore? It is a practice thing, just like anything else. So get into your voice memos, listen to yourself speak, get in the mirror and talk. Okay. Do these things day in and day out, because speaking is going to be a daily thing for you. Okay. And so you want to get very, very comfortable speaking in that tone of voice. Like I said before, it will be uncomfortable, but you have to get the rounds in of speaking that way. And the best way to do that is by yourself, to yourself, because you don't have anybody else saying, okay, you don't talk like that. Okay, ladies. So with all that being said, I cannot leave you without giving you your verse for the day. We are going to be in Ephesians. This is going to be chapter 4, verse 29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto hearers. Okay, ladies, well, I want to thank y'all again for watching another episode of Get 'em Girl. I hope that this answered your questions. If not, give me some questions down in the comments below. I have no issue with responding and giving you some extra tips. Ladies, if you have any extra tips, leave them in the comments below so that you can help some of the other ladies as well. And once again, thank y'all, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.